Does your department or your organization have a strategy, an actual codified document that sets out the decision criteria and guiding principles that everyone should be using to make choices? That's what a strategy is. It's actually a set of guiding principles. It's not a whole collection of projects or 17 priorities. But that's what most organizations have. They don't have the insight that comes with strategy about, when I come upon this situation, how should I think about it? What choice should I make? No, they just have do these 13 projects. And that's really a plan and a bunch of tactics, and probably it's got a budget attached to it, but it's not in any way, shape, or form a strategy. And when you don't have a strategy, it makes it much harder to prioritize and make calls all day, every day for everyone in your organization. Having a strategy allows you to take scarce resources and apply them to the most valuable things you can to capitalize on opportunities in the environment and to mitigate risks. Having a strategy is super important. Okay, now what if you're listening and thinking, okay, I don't have one? Well, I'm going to take you through in a series of videos some questions that you can use to facilitate your own strategic planning conversations. I think you'll get into some really, really interesting discussions. And you don't need a consultant, you don't need an MBA, you don't even need to be wearing a suit to have this conversation. So let's dive in with the first piece of strategy, which is setting your North Star. Your North Star is just like up in the sky, or if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, the Southern Star. It's that star that everyone can look up in the sky and see and walk toward. So it's composed of two different things. First, your purpose. Why does your organization exist? What are you doing in the world? How are you making the world a better place? That could be your purpose is to, create a world where everyone commutes without fossil fuels. It could be that you are trying to facilitate strong business connections virtually. I don't know. It could be anything, but understanding why is it important that your organization exists, and why would you not want to just pack up, sell off everything and get out? Why does the world need you? That's your purpose statement. And really getting clear on that is very interesting. I remember a very interesting strategic conversation with a free daily newspaper. And as we were working together and having these strategic discussions, it quickly became clear that they were not aligned on what their purpose was. Was their purpose to provide service and news and interesting information for their target market? They used to call them young active millennials. And therefore, they would go out and find advertisers that would pay for the kind of content that their readers needed. Or did they exist for the businesses that were trying to find a way to reach an audience? It's a very different strategic question, and everything that followed would depend on how they answered that. So understanding your purpose first is really, really, really important. Second step in setting your North Star is figuring out what are your strategic goals. And I think I'm going to go into strategic goals versus operational goals in a whole different video, but let's suffice to say that strategic goals are not just, is your business healthy today? Strategic goals are about measuring, is our business going to be healthier in the future? Have we future-proofed our organization? That might be things like, have we made it less likely that we will be taken over? Have we made it less likely that we will be disrupted by other technologies we haven't seen coming yet? Have we protected against commoditization? Have we capitalized on massive opportunities that are coming in the environment? So strategic goals, 2, 3, that's it. And only things that are really primary, things where you say, no, we would make huge trade-offs to make sure that we are progressing on that goal. Sometimes we cannibalize something so that we're the ones who create the new market instead of letting someone disrupt us. So only if those goals are things that you would trade off against one another, should they be at the very top of your strategy picture. So strategy matters a lot. It makes a huge difference in helping people prioritize and focus on the right things. So having a strategy makes a big difference. If you don't have one, that's where you need to start. Start with just that conversation. Why do we exist? And what are 2 or 3 things that need to be true 3 years out that will future proof us, make us strategically healthier as an organization? I'm going to come back and talk about the next steps from here.